on JTV. The Hispanic Heritage Festival is here. It's happening at Jackson College, and it is happening on Saturday, September 17th. It's at True Community City Square, and celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. The first annual Hispanic Heritage Festival, Saturday, September 17th, 3 to 8 at True Community City Square, 212 West Michigan Ave. Live music, salsa dance demonstrations, and sample food from local vendors. For more information, contact Jacob Inocencio at 745-9805 to participate.
Perfect. Well, to kick off our show this morning from Brown's Advanced Care, we have Dr. Austin Brown. How are you?
Hello.
Nice to see you.
Good morning. It's nice to be back. It's been a minute.
It has been a minute.
Yeah, especially with you guys. I'm usually hanging out with you and Bart, so it's nice to see you.
Yeah, well, thank you very much.
I was thinking about you this morning, believe it or not, because my daughter was, she was goofy, and so we had to give her a COVID test, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
Oh, no.
So
Okay.
no COVID, obviously, but we were a
be.
little worried. She had a little sore throat, and I've heard strep's going around.
Everything is going around.
Really?
Yeah.
And if that's a sign for what fall is going to look like,
Yeah.
it's going to be a crazy ride.
Yeah.
COVID, flu, colds, strep, everybody back in school, everybody doing more stuff out in the communities, which is absolutely where we want to be. But yeah, in terms of, when they come, what do you think I have?
Right.
I'm going to go, well, let's do a test and find out, because you're checking a lot of boxes right now. So it's going to be an interesting fall, definitely.
So you guys have the new COVID booster.
We do.
Tell me everything I need to know about
Everything you need to know. Yeah, well, we are starting today. We start giving those. Those are by appointment.
Okay.
We are doing our clinics on Mondays and Tuesdays at the pharmacy at Robinson Road, which is unfortunately impossible to get to right now with that road construction.
I know. It seems like West Ave and Michigan opened up today, but now we're just waiting on some. West Ave
I don't know
open.
what you mean. There's just some orange cones. I've just been going around.
Playing dodging traffic. So we are doing appointments, and that is coming up. So those are Mondays and Tuesdays. If you want to make an appointment, call the pharmacy. Be happy to get you on. There are some new guidelines in terms of what you can expect from how people are being defined as fully vaccinated now.
Okay.
So a couple of the things that are the big ones that people are asking about is the first one is, well, how long do I have to wait till I can get my other booster if I've been getting the other ones? It has to be at least 2 months after you've received a previous booster. And then another big one we got up here, if you've never had the COVID vaccine before, can I just get this new vaccine, this booster vaccine? The answer is no.
You have to get
get the original series that we've been given for the last couple years. When I get that one first.
So would that be 3 then? The first, the second, the first booster, and then the new booster?
The primary series of the vaccine. So the first dose, the second dose of either the Pfizer or the Moderna product, and then when you go to get the booster, you will be getting this new one.
Got it.
The vaccines that we were giving that were the same as the original series, we were giving those for the booster as well. Those no longer qualify.
Okay.
So the new booster vaccine is the one that you have to get now.
Okay.
So that's one of the big things.
And
that we've got.
those are available on Monday and Tuesday at the clinics?
Yes. Yep. We have the boosters, but we also will do, if you've never been vaccinated for COVID, we can take care of that one as well.
And we do know there's people out there who have never been vaccinated
absolutely.
and might have just thought, okay, now I'm getting around to it, or something happened, or maybe a relative. You just don't know.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of that. So we still are offering the original ones as well for those that still need their original series, and starting with the boosters, and then we're tacking that right into flu season.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
last year I got I think I got my booster and flu shot on the same day, and I hadn't had a flu shot. Yeah, it was fine. I hadn't had a flu shot in a long time. And I just thought, I don't really get the flu. I had assumed people who, like we talked about this last year, the flu shot makes you sick. But I learned that none of that is true.
Right.
And I was very happy I got the flu shot.
Good.
Yes.
That's what I was going to say. You said everything is going around. So when is the optimal time for people to get the flu shot?
Great question. We are still looking at, so right now we have them at the pharmacy. September, October is the prime time to get them. I usually tell most patients end of September is beginning of October is kind of prime time. You want to look at, flu season is usually about 6 months long. The vaccines last about that long as well. So we usually like to say, if you really want to make sure you make it all the way through and have some good coverage from the shot, September, October is usually best.
Okay.
August, a little early. Some people have gotten them. There's certain circumstances from a medical standpoint where it might be valid to get one then, but for most of the general public, now or a couple weeks from now is the best time.
And is there a target group that should maybe consider flu shots even more than just the general public?
Like a lot of what we've heard from over the last couple of years, if you're immunocompromised and you're more prone to illness or infection, or getting a virus like that is going to cause a great deal of illness for you, that's somebody you want to get it. The recommendation is anybody 6 months or older can get a flu shot.
Okay.
So just as a general public health standpoint, flu shots are always a good idea.
Yeah.
We're always tailoring them to try to make sure we're getting an understanding of, are they covering the flu viruses that we think are going to be the ones that cause the most illness. Unfortunately, the best way to do that is really it's throwing a dart at a board, and we're looking at data that shows what viruses have caused that in the past. Did anything change? And then we create the vaccines ahead of time to kind of in anticipation of what's going to cause that illness. A couple of things did change in this one in terms of the virus itself and what we think is going to be the ones that are going to get people sick, but not too much changed overall. What we saw last year is flu season went really long.
Okay.
People were getting flu in June.
Oh, wow.
And you usually start, come April, May,
Yeah.
that's when it really tailors off. There's always a chance that you could, but during the winter months is when we see it most commonly. But we had an extended flu season. We saw a lot of people getting sick. I anticipate we will see a lot more flu than we have in the last couple of years, just based on the way things are opening up. I was just reading an article. Australia just got through their flu season because theirs is, they're flip-flopped.
Right.
They had a rough one.
Oh.
And a lot of times what we see happens in that hemisphere in Asia, when they have a rough one, we might have a rough one.
Okay.
So, and they did. So we're kind of preparing ourselves to act accordingly and go from there.
For flu shots, will I get the same one as Jennifer? Will she get the same one as you? Will I get the same one as my
Well,
grandma?
I get
Yeah.
the blonde one.
Nice. That's a good one.
That's good.
That one works really well. So there are two classes of the flu shots. So we've got just a standard dose, and that's for anybody 6 months to age 64.
Okay.
And that's a quadrivalent dose. That means it has 4 strains of the virus in there to protect against that. And then there are some products for adults 65 and older, and that is the quote unquote the high dose. So there's 3 shots that are approved for that, and those are on the screen there. The Fluad, the Flu Zone, and the Flu Block. Now those are just the different products that are made by different manufacturers. Any 3 of those qualify as the quote unquote high dose.
Okay.
And the high dose is the term that's thrown around the most often, but essentially what that is with those products is the way they're developed. As we age, the body's immune system doesn't kick on as much as it did when we were younger. So those vaccines elicit a larger immune response to give a little bit more protection than the standard dose does.
What about if you're, if you can't find that? If you're recommended for the dose, the 65 and up, but you can't find it?
Yeah. So what we want to do is you still want to try to get what you can. So if you can't find that dose, because a lot of times, those ones are the first to go because everybody's trying to get that out of the way. If you can't find it, it's out of stock. I always tell people, don't hold out and wait for it.
Yeah.
If you have access to a flu shot, go for it, unless you know you're going to be able to get it. But if you don't, something's better than nothing. And that's what we usually like to tell patients. And I've certainly been in that situation where I've had to give somebody that because that's what I had.
So, and I know you're not a practicing physician, but do you have advice for people so they have the flu? Whether they had the shot or not, they've been diagnosed with the flu. What can they do to help them feel better?
So I mean, that's a lot of that point. If you do get the flu, it's a lot of symptom management. So we're looking at over-the-counter stuff, and it depends on the symptoms that you have. So flu symptoms are body aches, fevers, chills, upset stomach, diarrhea, vomiting, all the fun stuff, So based on what you have and what's going on, we like to do over-the-counter pain medications, Tylenols or Motrins, and depending on certain age and diseases, Tylenol or Motrin, one might be better than the other. For the most part, for a lot of people, Tylenol is generally a safer drug overall. So for a lot of folks, especially adults over the age of 65 that have high blood pressure, other things going on, I usually recommend Tylenol. And then it's staying hydrated, lots of fluids, vitamin C's, vitamin D's. We're getting into the winter months. We live in Michigan, everybody's vitamin D deficient.
Right.
Vitamin D is always a good idea. Staying hydrated, and then cough and cold syrups as appropriate. And
Yeah.
if you ever have questions about that stuff, come on in and see us, and we'll pick some stuff out for you.
Yeah.
And I think stay home too. I mean,
That's
whatever
huge.
it is,
Yes.
if you're not feeling
if you're not
stay
feeling
home
good,
and
stay
rest.
home. Yeah,
For
like
sure.
that was, we picked that one up. While we've been fighting COVID, and we don't know what we're dealing with, to stay home and figure that out. We got a little bit better. If you don't feel good, just give it a minute.
Yeah.
And I think everybody got more comfortable with that idea. I know a lot of us really, we're not got a sniffle, not feeling good. We still want to just kind of pound it out and get stuff done. But stay home and don't share it with the class. It's
for sure.
It's definitely something we want to keep
For sure.
keep
and,
away.
And again, if you have any questions, the team at Brown's Advanced Care, happy to help. They live, work, and spend their money right here in this community. And again, Monday and Tuesday COVID clinics. Call to schedule yours if you need any of those doses. Dr. Austin Brown, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure.
We appreciate it. Next, we are going to have an angel on set. You don't want to